Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's webinar, Invoice Recognition with Azure Document Intelligence in Yeeflow. I'm Alex, and I'll be co-hosting this session along with my colleague Renger and E. Thank you for joining us today. In this webinar, we're going to show you how Yeeflow's document recognition action, powered by Azure Document Intelligence, can completely transform your invoice processing. We all know that manually handling invoices from various channels like email, public forms, vendor portals, or third-party systems is time-consuming and error-prone. Today, we'll demonstrate an end-to-end solution that automates invoice recognition and integrates the extracted data directly into your Yeeflow data lists and document libraries. We have prepared a demo application that will illustrate how invoices from your suppliers are automatically received, processed, and then made available for further actions, such as verifying details and integrating with ERP or payment systems. Later in the session, we'll also walk through how to configure connections to Azure Document Intelligence and even discuss the differences between using a pre-built invoice model versus a custom model. Before we jump into the demo, I'll briefly cover the challenges of manual invoice processing and why integrated no-code automation is a game changer for businesses. Let's take a moment to consider the current state of invoice processing in many organizations. Typically, invoices come in from various sources: emails, public forms, vendor portals, or even third-party systems. In most cases, someone must manually download the invoice, re-upload it into an e-sign tool or a business management system, and then once it's signed, upload it back into the system for payment processing. This fragmented approach is not only inefficient, but also increases the risk of errors, delays, and data inconsistencies. Imagine the time and effort wasted each month on repetitive file transfers, manual data entry, and the subsequent reconciliation of invoice details. These inefficiencies can slow down your payment cycles and affect your overall business performance. Today, we're here to show you how Yeeflow's integrated solution eliminates these manual steps. By automating invoice recognition and seamlessly integrating with your existing workflows, you can focus on what matters most, accelerating your business processes and reducing errors.
Hey, hello everyone. Good afternoon. Maybe good night or good morning. Thanks for joining today's webinar. My name is Ranger. I'm so glad to have this opportunity for today's webinar with my colleague Yi. So for today's topic, we are preparing for, personally, I think it's very useful for document recognition. This can be used by different way. Okay, normally, and for Yeeflow, we have the integration with one of the workflow action called document recognition, which is published for, let's say, maybe at least 2 months ago. And also, I'm so excited to say many of our customers now already use this action for different of the projects. One of the common use for our customer, as I know that they are using this action for the invoice recognition. And also I saw some of the customer, they are also interested to learn maybe some of the more about how to use this action in the real applications. So that's the reason that we hosted for today's webinar. And we prepare a demo and to introduce some of the details as well. It's a begin for, let me have a quick introduction about this action first. If you don't know this action before or you haven't used it yet. So if you can see my screen here, okay, if you see my screen now, I can, okay, if you go to the workflow designer, what you can do is you can find this action from workflow designer here called document recognition. Okay, if you use this one, you can just simply just drag here on your canvas. Okay, and yeah, click the settings icon here. You can see it's very straightforward for like other actions in the workflow. So there's just a couple of the setting, the configurations. So basically what you can do is, let's say you might need to firstly select the source file. For example, if you have the invoice or if you have other type of documents you want to recognize, you can select from here. If you have maybe the file format, okay, variables. From the service provider here, this is a drop down. We have two options here. One is the built-in service. Another one is Azure AI Document Intelligence. So behind for this action, we actually leverage Microsoft Azure Document Intelligence service. Okay, even if you're using built-in service, this is the one that we provide by Yeeflow. So we provide a default document intelligence service built in where you can, if you don't have, let's say, the Azure Document Intelligence service on your own, you can leverage Yeeflow, the built-in service. Okay, if you select built-in service here, what you can do next is to choose the model. Because the document intelligence provides different kind of models for different purpose. So if you choose from the built-in model here and from next drop down, it will list all the available models here. It's not only for invoice, but also for other, different type of the documents. For example, you can also use that for the, let's say, business card, okay, recognized, and maybe the contract documents, and yeah, absolutely how maybe receipt. And yeah, if you choose, let's say, for example, the invoice, this option, you can choose which page the content you want to recognize with this service. You can choose all pages or just a range of the pages, maybe just the first two page, or maybe specific, maybe just the third page, all right? And then you can get the output. The output is something about the result. Let's say it's succeed or maybe fail, where you can track how the service is running. And the most important is this one, the set variable value to variables. Okay, if you click the select here, as we select the pre-built invoice model for document intelligence, you can see all the fields in that model are listed here. So for example, for invoice, normally, maybe you have some fields, let's say maybe the invoice number, invoice name, invoice date, and some other maybe the invoice, the customer and the vendor's information, and maybe even for the items for the invoice. All right. So to use this one, it's very simple. You can just click any of the field you want. Let's say maybe I want the purchase order to be saved in Yeeflow, and I also want the vendor name or customer name. Then you can, from the second one, you can just choose the variables, and system will save the recognized field value to Yeeflow's form data list, the fields. Okay, so it's very straightforward, easy to be configured. There's no need for programming. You can just choose the right model and mapping the field of data. Okay. All right. Another one is if you want to maybe have some advanced features, and if suppose that you already have the Azure Document Intelligence in your own, you can choose another one which called your own document intelligence service. Choose the Azure AI document intelligence option. From here, then you can firstly you need to choose a connection. A connection means that the service that connect to your document intelligence. Okay, I have a couple of the connection I set, so you can choose this one. And another thing is you can choose a customer model. Okay, you can train the documents based on your purpose with the document intelligence. So you can create your customer model. I select this one, and you can see I have some of the custom model I train from my Azure service. Okay, if you choose this one, and then the rest of the setting is the same, just select and mapping the data. So basically your customer, maybe you can custom the different fields, and you can set the type of, a different type. Let's say maybe you have some of the for invoice, maybe you want to recognize, maybe let's say you have I don't know, maybe a plus some of the information you want to recognize. You can create a field inside, and then it will return the value based on your needs. All right. So this is an action from here. Later on, my colleague E will show you for some of the case how to use this one in the real world. Okay. What I want to introduce is here the connection. Okay. Suppose that you're using your own document intelligence. How to get started? The first step is to create a connection. So connection, you need to go to the admin center. Okay. Yeah, absolutely. You need to have the system admin information first. Okay. And then from the left navigation, you can go to the integration and yeah, go to the connection. Okay. We have different type of the connections. For example, as I mentioned, maybe in the previous webinar, if you attend before, we have the PandaDoc and DocuSign, those kind of e-sign tools. And also what you can do is you can create a new connection. Just choose Azure AI Document Intelligence, this one. Okay. So you can just maybe whatever. And it needs two configuration information which you need to choose, select from your service here. So first one is the endpoint, and second one is the API key. Okay, those can be found from your Azure document intelligence service inside. Okay, once you configure, you just connect connection, and then this connection can be your own environment. Okay, so that's the connection in Yeeflow. We've already got the complex things to behind, where you can just drag and drop and configure. It's very easy to use. Okay, and let me show. Yeah, maybe take about 5 minutes to give you an idea. If you don't familiar about document intelligence, let me share this one to share this service for you. Okay, give me a second. Yeah, this one. All right. Okay, so this is the Azure portal site. If you are the admin of the Azure, you can just type into search document intelligence, or maybe just yeah, click the document intelligence icon here. From here, you can create a new the document intelligence service here. Okay, and you can choose the region. You can pick up the name, and yeah, maybe even your subscription. Okay, once you created the service, you can go to the detail page. From here, you can find the endpoint, this one. And one of the key, maybe K1 or K2, that doesn't matter. You can just copy and paste those information to Yeeflow, the connection configuration. Okay, then you can use this connection on your own. All right. So, and another one is for document intelligence, you need to uh, the model to let the model smarter to better understand what those format and the fields. Okay, so to do so is you can go here. Okay, go to Document Intelligence Studio. This one. Okay, this one. Or later on, maybe you can just using the website documentintelligence.ai .0.com. Okay, from here. Okay, this is what you say from the drop down. Okay, we have the preview model where you can choose the proper model here. And also, if you scroll down here, you can see the custom model. Okay, you can just click the customer exchange, this one. Log in here. Okay, so from here, you can create for the training. Okay, for example, I create this one. If you want, you can create a new one. And from here, you can choose, let's say, maybe typing a name and the description. Yeah, and continue. And you can select the subscription. And what I want to show you is this one, the resource group, whatever it is. Yeah, maybe this one. Okay. And yeah, you can choose. Here is the one, the API version. So basically use is this one. Okay, the 2023. Yeah, this one. Yeah, this one is a new one for version 4. So if you want to use this one, when you do the configuration, you need to add a specific format, which I can show you later on, to use that one. Okay, by default, it's based on this model. But if you want this one, it can be also used in Yeeflow as well. Okay, so once you got the project, let me open this one. All right, so here is inside the model. So what you need to do is you give the model a couple of the sample documents. Okay, you can, if you have a couple of the invoice, which may be used before, you can just browse and upload a bunch of the sample. Okay, once it's been uploaded, you can check where they have the studio. From here, you can say, yeah, maybe all right. You can say it's marked for mapping of the fields. Okay, for example, this one is for, let's say, the Microsoft. It's a customer. This is in this one, and they have the items to mapping at the right panel. So you can check. If you see some of the recognition may be incorrect, what you can do is you can go to, okay, this one. Okay, let me say, yeah, maybe this one, I want the who items is going to be the, let's say, maybe the customer name. Okay, see this one. Yeah. Just select the item and yeah, choose customer name. It don't support cross label, or because they have two labels here, but you got the idea. Maybe this one, you can pick it as maybe invoice ID. Then you can find the properties here. Okay. Once you correct each of this one, later on, if they got the similar invoice, they can be more smarter to be used. Okay, once you're done, you can train button, they will generate the models. Okay, yeah, those are models that I trained before. Then you can use this model in your connection and to recognize your results. All right. Yeah, so this is the Azure Document Intelligence where you can use, and then later on you can leverage this service inside Yeeflow. All right. If you have any questions regarding this part, just type in maybe your question, and we will have a session after this session. All right. So next, I'd like to transfer this to my colleague E. She will bring a very quick demo to show, let's say, a very common scenario. For example, if you have lots of suppliers, they sending the invoice maybe to you, and you normally will log in those forms manually, but you can create an application to receiving the invoice and recognize and do the verification as needed. All right, for that case, we have a demo, and I'd like to invite my colleague E to have the demo introduction. Hi, E.
Hi, thanks, Ranger. Thanks, Ranger, for the brief introduction. And I would like to share my screen now. Everybody see my screen?
Yeah, very well.
Okay. So today I'm going to use this application as a demo to show up how to do the recognition automatically for the invoice. So when you open up the application, you can see here is a data list, and we have some fields here, status and the credit invoice number, some kind of data that we need to get from the invoice itself, and in this application where we use the list workflow here, when you add a new item, it will trigger this workflow here. The first step is to set a data list where you're going to show up the flow is start and is in process. And the next step, we're going to go over the document recognition. And in this part, we have put the file, invoice file, which you just upload. And also we use this version connection. And just as the Ranger said, we can bidding the information to your data list and the form. Here we can also bid in the sublist variables. And next, we also do the duplicate problem. To fix the duplicate problem, we're going to use a current data action, which we set the condition as the invoice number is not empty and the invoice number is equal to the list field invoice number. And also the ID is not equal to the list field ID, which is to filter the variables. And here we're gonna to return the ID here, and this is to return the invoice ID that already been uploaded to the Yeeflow. And in that case, if the current data action found the duplicate invoice ID, it will return to that variable. And next, we're gonna do two set data list action. The first one, you can see we do have the condition here is duplicate item numbers with not equal to 0, which means it do have duplicate items found. and it will set the recognition status as a duplicate. So you can see from here, you can see the duplicate. And then the next step is quite simple. We do not find the duplicate item, so we're gonna set the recognition status as completed. Okay, so this is the logic behind the workflow behind that. And next, we can see we have the data here show duplicate and complete. This is the same invoice, and from here we can see if this shows as duplicate and you believe it's not the same invoice, you can do the recognition again or edit the information. And also same for the this one, the orange one shows complete. The complete means the recognition process, the AI recognition process is complete, but maybe AI is not human, so they can make some like problems. So we can like do the comparison data process here. We set a button here on the form, and you can like compare the data. So here we can see the total amount is 3,316. This is correct. And the text amount is 200. Sorry, this have a button. Okay. 215 and 56. And the total is 3,016. 616. So this is correct. Once you like verify all the information in the form, like invoice number here, and the purchase order here, number here, and also the customer information, customer name in the information around this, you can click the mark this invoice as has been verified. And once you click it as verified, the status will become verified, and the edit and the recognition again button will be disappeared. And we can see this form here. We have three forms. The first one is just a very simple one. Okay, see, we can just like this one.
Can you go through maybe a new upload of the invoice, and let's go through about the recognition. Maybe it's fun.
Okay, sure. I'll use maybe this one as a demo. And
okay, this is a PDF file, so it can also be image file, right? So PDF
yes.
and maybe PNG and JPG files.
Yeah. Okay. And because it will take some time to like start the workflow, so we can just maybe check it later, and we can go to see the form design first. So here
how long
we can
it will take normally?
Around 1 minute. I think it will be finished 1 minute, within 1 minute.
Okay, so currently the status is in progress, right?
Yep.
So message is running. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, maybe. What about right now? Maybe check.
It's still in process.
Still. Okay.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, and this is in process. The button is also not show up here, like the edit and the recognition again, because because it's completed. It's still in process.
It's completed. Okay, yeah. Great. It's completed.
Okay.
Okay, let's check. Let's check how's the information.
Okay, let me zoom it out here.
Yeah. So this is just one item. Yeah, right.
Yeah. It's just one item, and it is only it's have 2 minutes, so means it's have two quantities, and the unit price is 0.06, which is correct. Okay. Total amount is 0.12, which is also correct, and it's no text, so the text amount is 0.
Okay. Do we have maybe the invoice with multiple items? This is just one. What about multiple items inside the invoice?
Sure, let me just go check. Maybe we can see this one. Let me just open it up to see. Okay, these have multiple one. I'll just upload this one.
Okay.
Okay. So we can just wait a moment to see how things going. And at that moment, I'd like to show up about the form design. So we do have the 3 form here. The first one will upload the invoice page, which is the new item here. And we do have the view invoice information form. And this one, we do have some like the customize button to trigger different action. Yeah.
Okay.
Also this one is the container as an action. Yeah, because we have launched the new feature last year to container can be a kind of button right now.
You can define an action and use the container. Once the container is clicked, you can do some actions. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So this is kind of similar. You can do some of the actions here and bind it with the button or the container itself. And also you can set the different trigger action or dynamic display to determine where at which condition it will show or which condition it will hide.
Yeah. Okay.
We can see.
Maybe check if the previous one is done. The multiple items.
Here. Is that this one? Let me see.
No items here.
Yeah, it's not found. So we can do recognize again if this happens. So we can trigger the workflow again and to see how it will come back to us.
Yeah. You can. Yeah, maybe you can do. You can try one more time. Let's check. Yeah. So basically, we prepared this webinar. We created this, and we did not took too much time for the train model practice. So this is by default for most of the case. Okay.
Yeah.
And I think there's another feature is called the PO number, and where you can, I think it's very useful. So for example, if you have the invoice from the supplier, basically, if they have the PO number, it will mark the PO number to the invoice. So for that case, we do have the property in which the document intelligence can recognize the PO number. Okay. So yeah, this maybe can be a field at the top, right? So let me say. Yeah, you can scroll up. Yeah. The third field is the PO number. The PO number here, yeah, this one. So this one is recognized from the invoice. So basically what you can do is if you have the PO information inside in your system. For example, let's say we have the PO purchase order data list. Yeah, here this one. Okay. So what you can do is based on the PO number, you can check, compare with the PO data inside in your data list and with the PO number here. And then if there's mapping PO number, that you can link this invoice with this PO. Okay, so this can also be part of the function. Maybe when you build this application, you can consider. So for example, I think that one have you have one invoice which have the link in PO, I think, right?
This one.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, you have the PO number, and it's 2401.
It's this.
Okay, great. So then if you, for the forms, well, we have a logic to query data based on the PO number. If we found the PO, records in the system, okay, yeah. Yeah, you can go to the action, I think.
Here.
Yeah, we have the query data action where you can query the PO number, which is recognized from the invoice. And if we found the result, we can save those data to your one of the fields in your form, and either can use to display the information of the PO in PO, or you can link with maybe a lookup fields and have the mapping with your PO records. Okay.
Yep. Okay. So let's see how this database. Okay, this first one. This one is kind of tricky.
Okay. I think, yeah, I got maybe you can, do you have other invoice? This is just two. Sure. Maybe you can try another one. Okay.
Sure,
yeah.
Of course.
Yeah, I got a question from Andy. Okay, let me answer this question first. So iPhone, yeah. So HEIC format, this kind of format, I think maybe it's not supported at this moment. I can check, but I believe the production team is working on this. Yeah, maybe let's wait about maybe 1 month. Maybe we can support for HEIC format later on. Okay. Yeah, maybe it's not yet. I remember that they have this function in their pipeline, and yeah, let me look back with the team and get back to you later on. Yeah, maybe just 1 month later we will be ready. Okay.
Let's see this data. Okay, it's still in progress. Yeah. So also I would like to share about that we have the public form, and the public form is also can trigger the list workflow. So it's quite, yeah. So it can let you to send the public form link to your supplier and let them to fill in all the information. And once they click submit, it will trigger the workflow we just introduced, and then it will do the recognition progress, and then
okay,
you can do the credits with the service portal, which can let the check how their invoice going, and so on. Yeah, let's see this one. Okay, so you can see here we do got some the information. Let's go check. So here you can see this is, we do have the 8 quantity here, and the unit price is 100, and the amount is 800. Okay, this is correct. And also the service is 1000, and the quantity is 1, and this amount is 1. Sorry, 1000. Sorry, my throat is not very. And also we can find the tax amount is 10%, which is 180 here, and the invoice total will be, okay, so we can see here the AM made some mistake, so we can change it. And so here. Okay, this one, and we can upload the. Okay, let's see. We have changed the mistake, and after that, everything is correct. So we can mark this invoice have been verified.
Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah. So basically, the logic here is if you, let's say, design this system, imagine you receive an email, the invoice, you can send it to Yeeflow, and using Yeeflow to recognize the data, and you can, do the verification, and once it be mark this status, and then later on, if you do, for verified invoice, you can also do some scenario, let's say maybe mapping to the PO or any other data in Flow, or maybe you integrate with third-party system to send the invoice information to maybe your ERP system or other kind of the system to be used. Okay. Okay, so that's the part for the application. And another part is, okay, so currently there are many, I don't know how do you receive the invoice for your supplier, but there may be a couple ways. So firstly, and the normal way is maybe having the, currently maybe you have the mailbox, maybe a shared mailbox or maybe a specific mailbox. You have the supplier sending the invoice to a specific email address, right? And for that case, this can be also a source which can leverage with Yeeflow together. Okay, let me show you. Yeah, for that case, let me show you how to using the Power Automate. So you can do a couple of ways. You can have the web service to sending the file to Yeeflow, or you can having, using leverage Yeeflow's update form or service portal to do so, allowing the supplier to submit from online. Okay, one of the sources from the email. So for today's demo, I can show you how to using the email and send it to Yeeflow. Okay. Yeah. I can take over the share screen, right? Okay. Great. Let me share my screen now for that part. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Great. So here is the Power Automate. If you're using this one, you will be very familiar about the UI here. So basically what we can do is we have a trigger, which is selected for when a new email arrived from Outlook, maybe from other mailbox if you want. Okay. And then we design the workflow. The step is when a new email is arrived, then let's say you can check if firstly, we need only those emails which have the attachment, okay? So this one is, let's say, include attachment. This property, it should be yes. Okay, we say this yes. And then for this case, I'm using Mike's email address, but for your own, maybe you have a public mailbox for your company. You can convert that connection, okay? All right, so check if this one is attached. And another one is from the settings. What we here have another condition set, which is check if the subject of the email, including invoice, the keywords. So the way is once a new email coming up, if the subject include invoice, and also they have the attachment inside, we will trigger this workflow. All right. Okay, so this is the one. And then another one is, let's say we have the for each. So for the email, we check all the attachments. Maybe they have 1 or 2 attachments in one email. Okay, so we check the attachments and we check about the condition here. Okay, firstly, for each of the attachment, we have this one. Inline is inline. This one equal to false. This means, for example, for some emails, they have some signature, they have some of the picture inside in the body of the email. We can ignore those those emails. Okay. Then what we can do is, if the qualified email coming up, and what we can do is we can call the Yeeflow connection to save the create a new records. Okay, save to the invoice space, which is just the data list shared by E, and we save the subject, from, and the body. Okay, so create a new item. Once the new item is created, we will using and file to item this action to save the invoice file, to save the attachment to the invoice file. Okay, those are fields which maintain the invoice file. It's very straightforward. So once it's that step is we mark the email as already is already read. Okay, let's read this is to yes. Okay, so this is the flow. So next time, once the email to your mailbox, for this one is a mic, and it will save the attachment to the data list. Let me show you here. So here is my mailbox. What I can do is I send it to Mike, and I should have the invoice file, something like that. You need to have the invoice in your subject. And next, you can select the document. Let me share. Let me see if I can have. If I do have, I can find some of the emails here. And yeah, give me a second. Let me check if I do have some email, some of the files. Yeah, I think I have. Okay, let me share. Choose one. Okay, two. One. Yeah, I have some of them. Okay, yeah, supposed to choose this one. Okay. And yeah, this is invoice from maybe Zoom. Okay, then send. All right. So once the email be sent, it will trigger the workflow, this one. And then let's get back here to say, let me go to a demo site here. Let's do a refresh. Verify, this is verifying. Yeah, this one is the new one. If you can say, the sending email, I have this field track, send email from my email address, and the file name is this one. And it's being recognized. So let's check this one. And yeah, here is the invoice. Okay, I have. It's currently in progress. So it will, yeah, take, I guess, maybe 1 minute, as I mentioned, to get the result back. If you have all invoice being received by email before, so what you can do right now is you can create a data list and getting all the invoice being forwarded to the data list for recognize and be verified and sent to anywhere if you want. Okay, so how it works from my side. Okay, great. All right, so that's kind of the demo for today's webinar. So they have what we're trying to do is we're trying to make it simple as much as we can, so that you can get an idea about how to leverage the integration features for Yeeflow to do the document recognition. Currently, it's for invoice. They're for the suppliers, but there are a couple of different ways where you can leverage. For example, you can, for the employee reimbursement, yeah, having their invoice to be recognized. So for example, you create a data list and allow your employee to upload their own invoice, and then you attach those recognized data to their travel reimbursement form for the next step. So that's another way you can consider about the function for the invoice. If you're having the CRM functions in Yeeflow, you can also have the maybe business card to be recognized and to save your time to type in the data inside. All right. Okay. Okay, great. So before we conclude for this session, I'd like to maybe open the floor to your questions. And if you have any query about the configuration process, the integration with Azure Document Intelligence, or want to know about the voice recognition application works in Yeeflow, please share your question if you want. You can type in the chat or using the Q&A session. Yeah, let's have maybe some of the information if you want. Okay, so one question is for how to using the latest version of the AI recognition model. Yeah, let me share you this one. Okay, so there are a bit of things where you can do. Let me show you. Okay, let me share you back to my demo site. Okay, so to use the latest model, which is a full or version 4, I remember if I remember correctly. So what you can do is go to the connection configuration here. A second. Okay, go to integration connections. Okay, if you have a new model, which is for the new version, what you can do is you create a new connection. Okay, so let's say this one, and maybe you type v4 or any whatever name, and you can have the endpoint. Okay, so what you need to do is you can say we have this one. Okay, keep this one, which is can be finding from the configuration of your Azure Intelligence. And after this address, ending this part, okay, API version equal to maybe a new one. Let me see. Yeah, this one. The new version should be this API version. So this is the latest one, which is November 30 for 2024 last year. Okay, if you ending this property, you will be able to using the v4 version, and it can be selected from your connection. Okay, yeah, just this one. Okay, I can let me see. Typing here to everyone. Yeah, you can check from the chat box for this one. Okay. Is that an AI recognition meaning that it can recognize invoice in different format from different company, not meant the invoice number. Yes. Okay, Stanley. The question is about, can we recognize, maybe maybe for different format? Absolutely, yes. So what I say is, from some of the customers, they are from, they are supplier from different, especially for some of the other, South Asia countries with different language, maybe Thai language, maybe even Chinese, English, and language as well. So they are all supported for different type. And also, they say some of the invoice, even they are using handwriting, can also be recognized. So what you can do is, you just need to do maybe some of the training. If you think some specific particular format is not recognized well, you can just go to the document intelligence service to have the training and to generate a model. That'll be the best practice, but absolutely you can, it can support different formats, different type of the invoice from different countries. Okay. Okay, our invoice data be uploaded to Azure. If you Azure will use your invoice, absolutely. But as I know that the invoice will not be stored inside in Azure. It will take about maybe a couple minutes inside in Azure, and later on, once it be recognized, it will it will delete those invoice from Azure. Okay. All right. Okay. Make the recognize model become objects. Should I click and just add attachment into application form, then the form will reader. Okay, okay. So for Kenny's the question, let me see. I probably did not catch that very well, but what you maybe say is, you have the, I don't know, maybe iframe or other part of the function. So basically what you can do, my idea is, any of the files, if you want, it's not just maybe if it's emails, you can sending, from any source. Okay, so if you attach, or if you sending from third-party system or your web service or any, even for Yeeflow, we have a custom code. If you want, you can embed into some particular logic inside in a form to do, so it also should be fine. Okay. Okay. All right. Any more questions? Okay. So another thing I can share before ending this webinar is, as for today, for this year, AI is the very hot topic here. So some of the recognition function, let's say maybe you want some of maybe other part of the recognition. Azure Document Intelligence is one of the choice. The benefit is, or the advantage for the Document Intelligence service for Microsoft is, it can tree for specific fields to mapping and for format and so on. Okay, and yeah, maybe you can also leverage some AI. Let's say maybe ChatGPT, Azure OpenAI service, or one of the things is Google Gemini. I think it's a 2.5 is more powerful for some OCR functions. We are also looking for some of the other options to improve all the recognition service later on. We may have another topic maybe in the next coming webinars for some AI topics. If you are interested, let me know. And if you using Yeeflow, you probably notice that we have the AI feature that's called AI Assistant, right? So we got some of the features and which can be used very helpful. And we can have another webinar to share this one. If you are interested in this topic, join us for the upcoming webinar. All right. Okay, so yeah, so that's all the information for today's webinar. And thank you for joining us today. Hope this webinar has given you very valuable insights, and you can use that in your function as well. All right. With that said, thank you again, and have a great day.